I got happy recognizing, wow, look what my body did with the help of antibiotics. Look at what happened. I was able to heal myself, big breasts and all. How could I have ever lived one moment being ashamed, regretting any part of this extraordinary, miraculous machine we all have been given? So this is what I learned. I know we make you proud because I'm a phenomenal woman. To own those words, to be so full that your cup runneth over. And I know there's so many people in this room, women in particular, who have spent your lives giving to everybody, to the point where you are empty. You are empty, and being empty makes you tired. Being empty, you cannot give anybody what is the fullness of your being, what is the truest, highest expression of yourself if you are running on empty. So your number one job is to fill yourself up. How do you get full? That's what today is all about. So let's see where you are on your wellness journey. There was a welcome bag at your chair when you came in. Legacy is not some name on a building. Your legacy isn't the big thing that you think that you were supposed to do in life. She said your legacy is every life you touch. And your legacy is everybody who has ever watched a show and made a decision that they were going to go back to school.
Your feet going down through this arena. Our breakthroughs and our thresholds of what's possible. Sometimes our head gets in the way. But not here. It's about the body. So keep pushing. Let's go. All the energy that we've created just in these last 15 minutes. We're going to be here doing a pop-up in April. So we want to see all 13,000 of you. All right. Thank you guys so much. Thank you, WW. Thank you, Oprah, for having us. Thank you, my love.
This moment of welcome home to your own skin.
Yes.
So you came, that line feels like it came straight out of your spirit, out of your heart. What are you trying to communicate to us? Welcome home to your own skin.
I'm trying to communicate, we're all trying to communicate right here, that we are so disconnected from ourselves, from our bodies. And when we can connect.
Teaching through your dance, through Kinergy, and it is your superpower. Do you think we all have one?
I think everybody has a superpower. Everybody has a unique superpower, but I also truly believe that dance is everyone's. Because when we're babies, we have 30,000 unique movements, and as adults, we have 10. Babies are in their high chair just dancing and grooving around. They're not worried if anybody thinks they're good or bad. They're just hanging out. They're like, my parents love me. So, you know, we just gotta move our bodies. It's about expression. Yeah.
Thank you. Julianne, isn't it great to be in LA?
It is.
LA gets it. We love LA. Thank you, Kinergy. Thank you, Julianne Huff. Yes. If you do, those of you who particularly scored in the 65 to 90 category, somebody sitting behind Gail scored a 90 and thought they were going to score higher. So whatever area, as I said earlier, we're here to kick it up a notch. Do you see areas of wellness that need more focus? And using these areas, this exercise is here to create a new habit to support those areas of focus. Now turn to page 43. I'll go to this side. You seem to be doing better work over here. Okay. You're gonna put your name down. When you write it, it's so much better, I'm telling you. My intention is, who has an intention already? You can share. You do? Okay. What is your intention?
I'm a student, so my intention would be just to not go too hard on myself and to know that I'm doing the best that I can.
Very good. What else you gonna do?
I'm gonna eat better because being in college, it's pretty stressful and I feel like, oh, I don't have time, so.
But I think it, okay, Laura, I really thank you for, I'm gonna see, can I get to 4 or 5? It is not the same. Writing brings the clarity. Things are gonna get challenging And you're going to need to rely on where you are and what you have. And remember how many times in your life you've been saved. And if you're still here, it means you got saved. Somebody saved you, lent you a hand, made it possible for you to be okay right now, not next week. So this commitment contract is a way of you declaring for yourself not just what you want, but how you see the way forward to get it. You know, most of the situations we find ourselves struggling to overcome are within our control. So many things. And my doctor in Cleveland said, better to get to a weight that you can manage, you can hold, you feel solid, you feel good. And that is where I am. Thank you. And here's the thing. All the best numbers for me were not even the weight loss numbers. The best numbers for me were, you know, I was a pre-diabetic because my mother was an insulin-shooting diabetic her whole life. High blood pressure runs in.
I had a couple of goals, and they were, my goals are, after my knee surgery, is to be able to run, and for my husband to scoop me up, like I done lost not enough weight where he can just carry me around, you know.
Take me to the King. I don't have much to bring. My heart's torn and green. Take me to the King.
Truth is, I'm tired. Options are few. I'm trying to pray, but where are you? I'm all churched out, hurt and abused. I can't think what's left to do. Truth is, I'm weak, no strength to fight, no tears to cry, even if I try. But still my soul refuses to die. One touch will change my life. Take me to the King. I don't have much to bring. My heart's been torn in pieces. It's my offering. Lay me at the throne. Leave me there alone to gaze upon your glow and sing to you this song. Please take me to the King. Truth is, it's time to stop playing these games. We need a word for the people's pain. So Lord, speak right now. Let it fall like rain. Oh yeah, we're desperate. We're chasing after you. Oh, I no rules, no religion. I made my decision to run to you, the healer that I need. Take me to the King. I don't have much to bring. My heart's been torn to pieces. It's time to make a change. I want you to think with me real quick. Sometimes when it gets hard in this walk, sometimes we just have to lift our hands. If you know this, sing this with me. I surrender. I surrender. To thee, my blessed Savior, I surrender all. I can't do it without the Lord. Tell thank y'all so much. Thank you, WW.
Who gives new meaning to the word 50, and who above all else are well. And really, is there anybody on the planet that represents all of that more than the one and only Jennifer Lopez? Los Angeles, please This is what we're doing out here.
What you doing out here on a Saturday?
This is what we're doing on a Saturday.
Nice. Hi, everybody.
J-Lo's in the house! You are wearing that is a suit.
There's a three-piece suit.
Can we see what it looks like without the jacket? Let's see. Can I see it without the jacket? You want to see it without the jacket? Look at that. Oh, look at that.
I'm still Jenny from the block, yes.
So you were just saying to me, this is full circle for you because you opened the tour here.
I did. This is where we opened. Some of you over here? We opened the It's My Party tour where I turned 50 last summer. So it's kind of full circle. This was our first show. This is where we opened, and the first time that I sang on stage with my daughter, Emmy. So it was a special night for us. It was a really special night for us.
You've had a lot of special nights. Has 2020 been? I mean that. There y'all go. How do you top the year that you had? Shush, really. What happened? Did you have a vision for that? Because you know we were talking about vision and setting the vision, or has that been what happened to you last year? Been the culmination of what you've been dreaming and envisioning your whole life?
I think that's what happened. I think it was about 10 years since my kids were born. They turned 12 last Saturday. About 10 years where I just decided that I was going to work in a way that I hadn't before, and I was going to grow in a way I hadn't before. Once you have kids, for me, what happened was I realized I had to do better. That I was doing okay, I was doing good, but I had to do better. It's like what you said to that lady in the audience, like you have to take care of yourself so you can take care of your kids. And that's what happened. And I think last year, this year that's happening, my 50th year, which is crazy to think that happened.
But you know what? Because isn't it true? I read that you said somewhere, and it was just the best definition. You said you don't feel like you're aging, you just feel like yourself. So the number doesn't even mean anything.
It doesn't mean anything to me. I honestly feel the same way I did when I was 28 and put out my first record. I do. And I think it's a mindset of just continuing to realize that I'm still growing. And so long as I'm still growing, there's still somewhere to go, that there's more to journey, that just because I turned 50, it's not over. No, that's what I realized. It's not over. We're just like at halftime right now.
At the Speaking of halftime. Okay. Speaking of halftime, we had never seen anything like that in our lives. In our lives, we had never seen anything like that. So I'm curious as to, just before you and Shakira, just before you went on, you're watching Shakira.
Right.
You know you got to go out there and kill it. Were there butterflies? Were you thinking, wow, you just can't do better than 100 and something million people around the world? What were you thinking and feeling waiting to go on?
Okay, so a lot of things, but mostly I know I have a big show. I'm in the zone, I'm focused, I have put in the work, so I feel really good. And it was different because my daughter was gonna be singing, so I had my little concern on her over there, but she's kind of like standing there going like this. And I'm like, okay, she's good. You got to focus on you right now. And I don't know, I think I just felt like as I was watching Shakira, I was very still. And I saw that she was killing it, and I was like, okay, here we go, this is it. And it's weird because I think most people who perform at the Super Bowl, they don't have to split it like that.
That's right.
So they just go out there, the stage
they do it
gets
and
built,
done
and
it.
they're done. But I had to actually stand there for like 6 minutes or more, just like
Waiting.
and looking at, 3 times the size of people, and I'm like, all right, we're about to tear this stadium down.
And you said, and you did, you said you wanted little girls all over the world to be proud of everything that they are. So you were dancing for yourself. You were also dancing for girls all over the world.
Yeah, I mean, I knew, there was certain things I knew when they asked me to do the Super Bowl. I was like, I'm gonna close with Let's Get Loud. I'm gonna close with Let's Get Loud, and that was a definite. And I knew that I wanted to put forth a message because I knew who I was representing. I knew I was representing not just myself, but women, Latinos, and everybody, and all humans. And what I wanted everybody, every little girl, and I decided I was gonna put I was like, how many girls will you let me have on the field? You know what I mean? They were like, you can have 50. And I was like, okay, I'll take it. And I just wanted them, what the message that was very clear to me that needed to be said was, be proud of who you are, and don't ever be afraid to use your voice and get loud in the face of injustice or anything that you don't agree with.
I heard you say that singing on the stage with Emmy was really cathartic for you. What was that like as a mother, as a singer? What was that?
It's just, as I think of it, I just, my whole body fills up with so many emotions because, she came up in these pods and she started the song without me. And then by the time she came over to me, it was such a huge celebration, and I'm wrapped there in the American flag that on the other side is a Puerto Rican flag. And I'm looking at her and she's singing Born in the USA. I was born in the USA. And yes, and I was just lit, and we both yelled at each other, "'Cause I wanna live my life!" And to see her with so much joy, be so much in her own power, so young, and all the little girls around me just dancing and going off, and it was such an amazing feeling. It's hard to describe. It's hard to describe how proud I was, how
did it fill you up?
Exhilarated I was.
It filled you up.
It did.
Yeah.
It did.
Yeah.
It was amazing, and
So
I think everybody got that at home.
Everybody got that. Did she come out that way? Was she always that child?
She's quiet, She's an angel. She's a thinker. She came out to me, she was an angel. I used to look at her when I would hold her when she was little, both my babies, but I was like, she's an angel. You know what I mean? Does every mom feel that way? I think so. And, but she was always quiet. My son is very loud and rambunctious and full of energy, and Emmy's the opposite. She's the yin to his yang, And, but she feels very comfortable performing and singing on stage.
So when did you see that she had the ability to do that on stage?
I didn't know. I always thought she was really shy. And then when I was gonna direct my first video for Limitless, the song that I did with Sia, that you guys opened with today, I directed my first video, and I was saying I needed a little girl in the video. And she heard me prepping it and talking about it, and
And she came to me, she was like, Mom, I can do it. And I was like, I never thought about putting them in the business or to work or anything. I just didn't want that for them. Because I work with a lot of kids, and it's a lot of pressure. And I was like, no, baby, videos are really hard. They're long hours.
Long days, yeah.
You don't want to do that. And, you know, I go on and I start casting girls and seeing, and she comes back. And Alex was like, you should put Emmy in the video. She really wants to do the video. And I was like, Alex, I don't want to. And then Uncle Benny, you should put Emmy in the video. And I'm like, you guys, I don't want to put Emmy, I don't want her working. It's a lot, and I'm directing for the first time. And what if I have to tell her something?
Yeah.
What if I have to be like, do that better? You know? Like, I don't want that. And she was like, Mommy, I really can do it. I can do it. I promise. I said, if you do it, you got to see it through. You have to see it all the way through. She was like, okay. And she did it. And when she got on the set and she started singing and she started acting, because it was more of an acting thing in the video where she had to kind of make believe. It was all green screen, so it was all her in the imagination. I said, you represent every woman, the little girl inside every woman. Okay, and what an uphill climb it is to be born a woman. It's right from the beginning. I said, and I want you just to struggle going up this hill like your foot's stuck and you gotta pull it out and you gotta keep climbing, you gotta keep going. She's like, okay. And she's dressed in like man clothes that she sheds throughout the video, and then she's at the top singing. And we did the first take all the way through. And she was a natural. And I was like, she was a natural.
I know.
And I look at her and I go, and I'm like, I'm crying. Everybody on my team has been with me for 20-something years. They all saw when they were born and everything. We're all looking at her, we're all like with tears in our eyes, like, oh my God, she was much littler then than she is now. It was a couple years ago. And that's when I knew. I was like,
she had it.
She had it.
Yeah.
And she could do whatever she wanted with it. She didn't have to do it, but she could do whatever she wanted with it.
So you were pretty confident and assured that it was going to be exactly what it was for the Super Bowl.
For the Super Bowl, we had gone on tour. Like I said, we opened the tour last year, and she would sing a little bit of Limitless with me. And I wanted her to just do opening weekend, which was the 2 LA shows. And she wound up singing it. We were on tour for like 30 shows. And I was like, you don't have to do it every night. She was on tour with me anyway. And she's like, no, I want to. And she would come out every night and do her little part. And it was a very special part of the show, but we had choreographed it without her just in case she didn't want to do it. But she did it every single night and she enjoys it. So I knew the Super Bowl was even a smaller part for her. And I didn't want to, when I asked her, I said, if you don't want to do this again, you don't have to do it. And she's like, she acts like she doesn't care a little bit, but she cares, like she wants to do it. So, but she did it, and yeah, she just has fun with it.
Yes. So that was such an incredible performance. I mean, people were like calling everybody about it and watching it in real time. Were you surprised then when some people thought it was a little much? Some people started complaining.
About the sexy part?
About the sexy part. Were you surprised?
No. It didn't bother me. It was such a beautiful night, and it was so well received. Like, to listen to like the small fraction of people who thought it was too sexy or trying to say something negative. Yeah, it would have been a sin for me to like concentrate on that. Yeah, like
even take that down. That is so good. Are you really good about that? Have you reached a point in your career where other people's judgments do not impact how you see or judge yourself?
Finally, yes.
You've gotten there?
Yeah, finally.
That is.
And it was just recent too. It wasn't
really?
Like again, these are journeys that take long time.
Yes.
Right? They take a long time. Like, first you have to figure out, I'm not loving myself enough. I need to figure that part out. And now I have
Which is what I was saying to the woman over there.
And
everybody in this room, listen to J-Lo.
Well, you're raised to think, if I take care of everybody else, I'm a good person. You know what I mean? I put myself last. A lot of women are, in my family, that's how we were raised. Especially Latinos, like, everybody comes before you. I'm last, I'll eat last, I'll get dressed last. I didn't even take a shower, it's fine. That's how you're raised. And you need
you come to the realization that, oh, it's not that. Like, I actually have to take care of myself so I can take care of everybody else better.
I read where you said you come to a place now, because this is the truth, y'all. The 40s and 50s are it.
Oh my
so anybody
God.
who's thinking
It's true.
they're dreading the 40s, it doesn't even start to make sense.
No, it's not
until
over.
you hit 40. It's not only is it not over, it's just getting
It's just
started.
beginning.
It's just beginning. So
That
it's
is
true. It's
the
so true.
We're like together.
Yes, it's so true. and you've gotten to the place now through your 40s and now at 50 where you feel the most comfortable and the most powerful. That's how it's supposed to be.
That's absolutely how it feels. And it's a journey to get there where you get to the point where you realize and you're giving yourself the credit, you're giving yourself the pat back, like I've done well, I've done good, I've worked on myself, I've tried to be better, I'm gonna keep on growing, and when you get to that place where you're not encumbered with what other people think of you and what you're doing, and you're just doing it for yourself and your own individual fulfillment and happiness and doing things in the right way, nothing can stop you after that.
Nothing can stop you. So let's talk about that growth. You married in your 20s.
A couple times.
Couple times. I was going to just skirt on by that, but okay. Married in your 20s.
Yeah.
And now engaged at 50.
Yes.
What do you know now about love that you didn't know then?
Again, and I think this is a key to life, that I had to love myself and be okay on my own before I could be in a healthy relationship.
Okay, so were you at the point before you met him?
Alexander.
Emmanuel.
Emmanuel.
Were you at the point where you could be alone just before you met him?
Yes.
You could, yeah.
Yes. It was like getting there. I think once I got divorced and I had to kind of re-examine my whole life, because I waited to have kids. I had kids when I was 38. Because I never wanted to not be with the person I was with and had kids with.
Yeah.
And I just felt like, I don't know, like I needed to, when we got divorced, it was such a, like the lowest time of my life. I felt like I had failed miserably and that I was not gonna give my kids what they needed, and I just didn't know what to do. And so I had to kind of regroup at that time.
And was that your own personal feeling about that marriage and situation, or was that part of that ingrained in what you're taught culturally?
Taught culturally,
yeah.
that you have to be together. Like you can't raise kids without a man and a woman there, a mother and a father. And I think they do need their father. They do need their mother and their father. But your happiness has to be a part of that.
Yes.
It has to be.
Because you bring your full happy self to your children.
Yes.
That's what people need to know.
Right.
So you shouldn't stay in bad situations for your children, because your children just grow up with two people in a bad situation who are unhappy.
It does.
That is the
everybody's
truth.
unhappy.
Yes, and everybody ends up being unhappy. So do you think that you and Alex had done the work for yourselves?
Yeah.
Because I always say this, you can't look for somebody else to make you whole. You got to try to bring your whole self.
Yeah, that's the thing. I feel like now I'm good no matter what. No matter what. If I'm with somebody, if I'm not with somebody, Jennifer's happy. I'm happy. And that I didn't even know I could be.
So you got
time.
over the fear of being alone.
That fear of being alone, and like if I'm not with somebody, I'm gonna be so lonely, I'm gonna be miserable. It's like, no, what are you talking about? Your life is amazing, and you're doing what you dreamed of, and you have these beautiful kids, and what are you thinking?
Like, how did you do the work? Did you actually do therapy?
I did therapy.
Pray?
I prayed
Yeah.
a lot.
You meditated?
I learned to meditate. I read a lot of books. I read a lot of Louise Hay books. I met Louise Hay. I was like, Louise, help. I'm getting divorced. What do I do? I feel like crap. Help me. Whatever I could. I was around
the people in my life that were older, more experienced, who can help me. You know,
I heard you like being around older people.
I love being around older people.
Yeah.
Always have since I was in my 20s. The experience and the wisdom that they have is so priceless to me, and I've always been fascinated. Like, I was always that person, like 20-something years old on a movie set and had like my 50-year-old girlfriend with me. You know, they were like, what? Yeah, and my young girlfriends too, but I always had somebody like that, like a sage in my life, somebody who was guiding me.
So now you're engaged. Does it matter
Yes.
to you when you get married? You know, before you get engaged, everybody's like, when are they gonna get engaged?
I know,
and then you get engaged, you're like, when are they gonna get married? Yes.
Are you gonna have kids?
Are you gonna have kids together? Yes. Yes. Does it matter to you when you get married?
No, it doesn't. It's so funny because when we first got engaged, I was like, oh, we're gonna get married in a couple months. Like, your old thinking comes like right back, like all that hopeless romantic that made me get married 3 times. You know what I mean? Came like rushing back, and then I was like, wait, if we're gonna be together for the rest of, he's like, whatever you want to do, like we can talk about it. I said, if we're gonna be together for the rest of our lives, what is the rush? If that's what we're really gonna do, if we're really gonna be partners, if we're really gonna try to build something together that we both never had or never felt like we had, which is a family with a husband and a wife and a mother and father, and we embrace all our children and we show them something that we didn't have.
Wow.
You know.
And how are you all doing that? Because it's one thing for him to co-parent your kids, you to co-parent his kids, and then working with all of the others. Yes. How does that work?
You know, it's the navigation. You have to navigate it. Everybody's a different personality. Mark has a very different life.